President Uhuru Kenyatta has vowed that he will not sign any bill passed by legislators raising their pay and allowances if the Supreme Court declares him president-elect. President Kenyatta, who also announced Thursday next week as the date for the first sitting of the 12th Parliament, asked lawmakers to respect the new structure that was gazetted by the Salaries and Remuneration Commission on 7th July. And as Patrick Amimo now reports, lawmakers have accused the SRC of unfairly targeting Parliament in its efforts to reduce the public wage bill.
The Salaries and Remuneration Commission gazetted salaries and benefits to be paid in the 4-year period between 2017 to 2022. The new structure is to be implemented when the newly elected state officers are sworn into office. MP salaries, both in the Senate and the National Assembly, has been fixed at 621,250, down from 710,000 shillings. MPs also lost their car grant of 5 million shillings. They will instead be entitled to a 7 million shillings car loan in addition to 20 million shillings mortgage. The SRC also reviewed MPs' transport allowances to be paid once a month based on rates fixed for the distances covered, which have been clustered in 5 zones. On Wednesday, Homa Bay County woman MP-elect, who is also member of the Parliamentary Service Commission, cried foul over the SRC move, and she's not alone.
This Gazette notice, in my view, is not only in bad faith, but is really, truly singling out members of Parliament and meting unfairness on them.
The little I'm given, I go home with it. And naturally, people will have to come. And as a leader, an African leader, people have to take it in my home. People have to eat in my home. I have to take care of their problems, their funerals, Harambes, their children would like to go to school. I would like to chip in.
President Uhuru Kenyatta wants lawmakers to be conscious of the fact that they are servants of the people.
I fully support the recommendations of Sarah Sarem that have cut the salaries of all public officers from the president all the way down. I ask these honorable, if they require to be called honorable members, to respect that.
Supposed to stay in my own house, so I must acquire a house. This house I'm being given 20 million to acquire it. Then for me to have a vehicle, I'm being given 7 million. When you put together this money as a loan with the salary I have, then I cannot repay. Because number one, if you just look at the calculations, if I get 7 million plus the 20 million, every month principal amount is coming to 500. The manager has given us 621, remove the tax, it comes to around 400. So which means already I cannot repay this money. So she wants us to stay on the street.
The question to her now is, what alternative is she going to offer us so that we are now able to come to work, go back home and represent our people? She now wants to withdraw any kind of meeting allowance. Every state officer, when he's in a meeting, he is paid per diem. Why is he withdrawing that kind of allowance from us? Why just us alone?
Parliamentarians have in the past discarded party differences and ganged up to pass laws in their favor, and even arm-twisted institutions perceived to be hostile to MPs. The 12th Parliament might not be different.
And I am stating it now, even as I wait for the Supreme Court to rule. If it rules in my favor, I am saying before you, I swear I shall not sign that law.
It's the head of state, and he should behave like he has been a member of Parliament with us here, and he knows what we go through. So he should not pretend not to be knowing. I know he's just doing politics because of the petition and likely a by-election that might come again and that kind of thing.
Meanwhile, in a Gazette notice dated Wednesday, President Uhuru Kenyatta has slated Thursday next week as the date for the first sitting of the Senate and National Assembly. The clerk of the National Assembly, assisted with his counterpart in the Senate, shall administer oath to all members. The IBC has not gazetted names of nominees to both houses after various interest groups petitioned the Political Parties Dispute Tribunal over the party lists. Despite the tribunal ordering political parties to come up with a fresh list, majority of the affected parties are yet to comply. Parliament will not be fully constituted without nominated members.
It would be appropriate for us to have all members of Parliament participate in the swearing in and election of the Speaker. We have impressed the Electoral Commission on this matter, and they have promised us that they are expediting the process. Possibly by weekend or Monday, we should have the names of nominated members of Parliament. Previously, there was one time in 2003 when members of the House were sworn in and they elected the Speaker without nominated members of Parliament because they had not been gazetted. We are not saying that is the direction we want to go, no.
We have quite some time before then. I'm sure that the IEBC recognizes the gravity of the matter. They understand that the membership, they know the membership provided for each house in terms of the constitution, and they will therefore act to ensure that they do what they require to do. In the Senate...
On Thursday next week, MPs will also elect the Speaker and Deputy Speaker for both houses. Article 106, subsection 2 of the Constitution states that the office of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker for each House of Parliament shall become vacant when a new House of Parliament first meets after an election. MPs-elect will have a 2-day orientation starting Tuesday and Wednesday to familiarize themselves with the House procedures and rules ahead of the swearing-in. Patrick Amimo, KTN News, Parliament.